It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're reacting and having a discussion about a video from Scott Jun titled Survivor Entitlement is Reaching a Boiling Point, Dead by Daylight. Now this video was suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community, so if you want to join and submit your own, make sure you hit the rules, hit the little emoji at the bottom, the little knife, and you can speak with the rest of us and submit your own, talk with the rest of the community, do other things like that. So let's get into this. So it seems like Scott is finally giving us the right opinion here after claiming finally we're hearing an unbiased take from Scott here by finally stating that the Survivor entitlement is reaching a boiling point. So this is great, because we already know that Scott's opinions are just wrong, but finally he sees the light. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Unbiased as possible, or at least devil's advocate for both sides, and try.
You heard it here. Let me play it again for you guys, because maybe you misheard. All right.
Hey guys, Scott here. I don't like making videos like this. I like my videos to be as unbiased as possible, or at least devil's advocate for both sides, and try.
He claims that it's unbiased. That's what he's claiming. I don't believe it. We already know that is not true, but it's all right. It unbiased is hilarious to me, honestly. Unbiased is crazy.
Try to get a balanced discussion here. I honestly think people that are one-sided are a plague upon DBD's community in general, and I even have.
And we already know which side is the plague.
Like the caustic opinion that if you do not play both sides at least a little bit, you shouldn't even get to have an opinion on the game's balance. You can still have an opinion on the game, you know, it being fun and whatever, as long as it doesn't involve making change to the game balance wise. That's fine. But
I understand the take, and I do agree with it. Even if you don't directly play the side, if you engage with content and that from people that do play a lot of that one side that you're not familiar with, you can get at least an understanding to what people are experiencing. And that's what I do usually. I watch a lot of content creators that are Survivor mains that I respect, so I can get a better perspective and understanding of that side, and giving myself the most information I can work with when discussing a topic like this, because it's very important to be able to at least understand like the perspectives of other sides, and to be sure that you're not in an echo chamber, you're not coping, like you actually are, you know, given enough information to understand things.
I really think if you don't play both sides, you shouldn't get to have an opinion on the game's balance, because you cannot possibly understand what both sides are going through unless you experience it yourself. You just can't. So
Which I disagree with that adamantly, because of the fact that I already have played both sides already enough to know pretty much what the what my issues with that side is and how boring it is as a whole. So I don't entirely think that you'd have to be forced to play that for like Survivor for so long to be like, oh, now I have a good take. Like, you can still have a good take without spending thousands of hours on it.
I don't like making us versus them one-sided videos. It's annoying, but I do.
Ironic, because he already does that on a regular basis before this, but that's a whole other point.
I feel like lately I am
trolling
really kind of sick of Survivor shit. I am feeling very killer-sided lately, and I wanted to go over where does this end, because it feels like there's constantly been a carrot doesn't really seem to be satiating anybody, because it's not changing the issues of people disconnecting, giving up on first hit. Anything unfortunate happens within the first minute of the match, I just stop playing the game entirely.
Which I still find really interesting, because they already have been given every single second chance, update, buff. Everything is super overtuned and broken on Survivor, yet they still complain. So it's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want now? Like, you already have everything you ever wanted. Like, you can't go down anymore. Gens are at an all-time high. Healing speed is an all-time high. Pallets are everywhere, so you'll never go down again. Like, what's the problem? Like, you got everything you wanted.
There's like a carrot that's been dangled in front of them, and they keep getting buffs and buffs and buffs and buffs, and it still keeps happening. Like lately, we just had the pallet density changes, one of the biggest nerfs to killer in recent memory. It really heavily impacts a lot of killers. I have felt it. A lot of other killers have felt it. There are a lot more pallets. Even if all of them aren't super great, there's still a lot more to chain together. And in the hands of a good player, chasing people with an M1 killer now has become significantly harder. So killers got nerfed with that, but I'm still seeing disconnects like every 2 or 3 games in the exact same way without tunneling or camping. I just hit a guy, or a zombie hits a guy, or I lose Lethal Pursuer and get a quick hit at the start, whatever. There's still every single game, or like every other game, someone that just feels entitled to that, oh, this wasn't fun for me, so I'm out.
I agree with Scott on this, which is quite rare. But I do agree with Scott on this, and the fact of the matter is that that's true. That is very true. I've even stated this in previous videos. I stated this earlier in the video. Like, I really don't understand how or why you would even DC in the first place. You already have every single buff under the sun. Like, you have 4-second heal speeds. You already have pallet density. You already have gen speed through the roof. Like, every single gen is getting completed in the speed of light. Like, what else do you want? Like, what else could you possibly want? And there are still people that genuinely believe that there's somehow survivors quitting the game, like, which is mind-blowing, because every single change has only been for survivors. So what else do you want? Like, and it's crazy, right? Because they're like, oh, well, it's because of the killers. Like, how? Like, you already have every buff under the sun. Like, they nerfed killer time. Like, every single patch has been a nerf. So what do you... and what evidence is there to reinforce that thought process? I don't know. I really don't understand it. And I think that people with that perspective just kind of live in that low MMR limbo where they just cannot seem to get out of it because they're solo queuing. And of course, solo queue is just going to have a bunch of other players that have zero idea what they're doing, and they're going to get steamrolled because they don't do gens. So the fact of the matter is, like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why they're still DC in the first place. I don't know if they still are currently in this time of recording, because I haven't even played the game in a while now. Like, pretty much, like, I would say, like, it's maybe been like a week. I don't even know. I just don't play. I mean, what is the point, right? Like, all my characters have been disgustingly nerfed with this pallet density update. There's zero opportunities to get hits anymore as an M1. That isn't leading to a new pallet, and then of course you're losing 3 gens for getting a down. It's like, what's the point? Like, what is the point? A lot of us don't got the energy to just be sitting there having to go through that. Like, it's just
so that's still happening even with the changes that just nerfed killer. And next patch, we're going to get even more insanely strong survivor buffs, and killer, again, is not really getting anything. They're getting jack shit. I guess some more blood points. That's nice. But for the most part, survivors are getting massively buffed. They now have adamantium armor after unhook, and tunneling is being severely nerfed, and proxy camping is being nerfed, and slugging is being nerfed. Which, you know, a lot of these things I do think are bad for the health of the game, and having some adjustments there is fine. But, dude, my worry is, with, like, the pallet density changes, it's still happening. What if with all these buffs, it still happens? Like, I actually think, even with all these changes, we're still gonna have people that feel like it's just not enough. And then you have to draw the line somewhere. I understand, you know, getting face camped to death by a Bubba. That needed fixing, and it got fixed and stuff like that. I understand being slugged for 4 minutes to death probably needs fixing and stuff like that, but we're getting to the point where I'm like, okay, they're basically fixing almost everything that there is a problem with in Survivor. And even solo queue is getting buffs with the unhook bar that gives you sort of a base kit kindred effect. Solo queue Survivor has gotten numerous buffs over the years with the UI and things like that, so they're even making the worst side of Survivor, solo queue, they're making that better as well. And
that's the thing, though, because despite the fact that there's changes to solo queue, the fact that there's changes, like, to the UI, giving you a HUD that gives you information on every single survivor in your team's actions, they are still survivors that do not look at the fucking HUD. Believe it or not, I still remember it. Like, I still remember this. I was watching a video, and I think this person was going against a streamer, and they were just like, the streamer was just sitting there, like, playing the game, running around, and then they were, like, confused and lost that someone died. I'm like, the HUD gives you the HUD is showing you who has been hooked and chased. Like, where else could you be looking? The sky? Like, where, like, what, the screen is in front of you. It's right there. Like, I don't understand it. Yo, I still don't get it. I'm like, yo, what do you mean you didn't know they were gonna, like, wow, how'd they die? Like, huh? I'm like, so if that's just one person, can you imagine the amount of people that are just, like, in La La Land, looking at the grass, the sky, looking at wherever else they're looking that's not the HUD to no understand what the hell's going on in the match. Like, this is insane. But then again, it also goes to show that Survivor is just becomes so easy that you don't even need to know what's going on to win. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, there's no way. Like, this is crazy. Like, what? But, you know, but regardless, the fact of the matter is, like, they're adding a lot of these buffs and a lot of these things, and it's just not going to matter when there are players here that are just not gonna use what's given to them, right? There's perks that counter things. There are the existence of base kit perks that the base kit changes that already counter a lot of things. And on top of the fact that there's a HUD, and on top of the fact that you can see what all your teammates are doing. Like, you have all the information in the world. You have even more buffs coming. Like, you can't appease these people that don't want to learn. You can't appease these people that don't want to play the game. They're just rage queuing instead of just taking a goddamn break. I don't know why they don't, but they just don't.
Trust me, I get it. I pretty much only play solo queue. I understand how miserable solo queue can be, but you guys that are complaining about solo queue, you guys got to realize most of the time what you're complaining about is your teammates. You're not even complaining about the game, but then people want the game to be easier when really it's your teammates and matchmaking that's the problem. So we have a disjointed request from survivors that are entitled, and they're not even trying to fix the correct thing. It's really, you're just getting shitty teammates, and that's why you're losing.
Thank you, Scott. How many times have I stated in every single video that the only reason people bitch and complain about solo queue is because of the fact that their teammates are the problem, and it's not the killer's fault? Because the only reason that the killer even has pressure is because your teammates are not providing any. So of course, it's only gonna leave them even more time to do whatever they want. I've said this time and time again, and at least we have the resident Survivor main here, Scott Junt, is telling the Survivor players as well, it's your teammate's fault. He plays solo queue. He says it himself. I've played both with Swifts and solo queue, and I can tell you straight up, it's always going to be your teammates. Because I look at the goddamn HUD. I go, well, I'll say someone's in chase, I'm on one gen, and the two others are on a totem and a chest. I go, well, GG's, like, they're not gonna last that long. And I'm the only one on the gen, like, well, all right, GG's. Or if I'm watching someone in chase and they're dropping this and dropping this and dropping this, and then somebody runs over there, I'm like, well, good luck, like, they're dead. Like, I can't stop them. You know what I mean? They're dead, therefore I die. Like, that's just how it works. Like, I don't know why it's always the killer's fault, and the killer's just overpowered. And it's like, your teammates are the ones getting you killed. Like, I don't know what else to say, but they just, for some reason, it doesn't compute. I don't understand. It's so crazy.
It's not because there's just not enough pallets or anything like that. It's just usually because your team is bad, because the matchmaking is bad, and then people go, well, that means the game needs to be easier. But that's not your issue.
It's extremely illogical to think that too. Oh, it's the game. It's like, no, it's your teammates. Like, the game is fine. And I've stated this previously before. If you were just to use your noggin and go, well, look, I'm doing the gen, I'm in chase, I survived, that means that you can confidently say, hey, I did my job. If the teammates aren't doing it, then you go, ask them. Like, I did my job. Like, what? Like, why does it all of a sudden turn into, oh, but it's the killer's fault? It's like, for what? I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like I get too passionate about this topic, man, because it just makes no sense. Like, I don't understand how they boil it down to that. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's mainly my thoughts on this so far. If you want to watch the original video, it is linked in the description. You can finish the rest of the video on your own, support the original creators content here. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on just a couple of points in the video. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and consider supporting the channel by becoming a member on YouTube or Patreon, so you could just, you can have access to my other work, as well as being able to support the channel. So with that being said, see you guys in the next one. Well, I wanted to go ahead and take some time out to thank all my members from Patreon with Crow King 101, my YouTube members, Majora Jeff, N Dyer, Evil Peachy YT, Zero Mocker, Christian, Hexdev, and Crovader. And for my Twitch subscribers, Cake is the Road, Danica2002, Final Girl _ Bunny, Acklefin, Chili Cinderace, Zero Mocker, Ginsburg, Johns117 _ Lovely Ghost TTV, Jar TTV, Zazaboo, and Crovader. Just wanted to thank you guys. And if you also want to have your name read off at the end of every video, make sure you join on one of these platforms to get one of those perks as well as the other perks you get. So appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.